Well, hello, everybody. That is a tough act to follow. So first of all, I want to say thanks very much to Samantha and Courtney. It's very difficult to get up here on stage and talk about such personal and very tragic things that happen. My name is Liz Nicholson Sullivan, and I am extremely honored to stand on this stage tonight. So let me put my readers on before we do the fund a need, which is very important for funding. So greetings and thanks to all our sponsors and guests here tonight. And a big congratulations to the honorees, especially Dr. Ann McKee, for all your tireless work on behalf of sick men and their families. So thank you very much. And most of all, of course, I would like to give a big thanks and a big shout out, which is why we're here tonight, to Coach Ditka and to Shannon Jordan for all of your tireless work. If it weren't for Coach Ditka and Shannon, we wouldn't be here tonight. So again, a big round of applause for them. Also, I wanted to thank Tamara Dad Allen, who, after the Impact Fund. So tonight, we're going to be raising money. So please, this is my first day on the job as the volunteer fundraiser, so don't get me fired. So we got to raise a lot of money tonight. So I will be brief, but I must open by stating that the most important aspect of all of your work and collaboration, Coach and Shannon, is that you have both saved a lot of lives and given dignity and hope back to those who've lost their way. It's at this juncture of the evening we get to the crux of what it means to be a not-for-profit organization in the business of doing critical life-saving work. We can only sustain ourselves with the financial support and generosity of the Gridiron Great and After the Impact Fund family, which is all of you. So again, my name is Liz Nicholson Sullivan, and as the wife of a sick former NFL player, I'm proud and fortunate to be a part of the amazing and necessary work of Gridiron Greats. And as a personal aside, I can tell you that as many of these women that were just bravely here up on the stage with me, my husband, Jerry Sullivan, who he's got 9 vested years in the NFL. These are things that you know when you're a wife because every vested year counts toward their pension. There's only one group in this country that I would ever call and have the confidence could not only help me, but would keep my information private and confidential and see it through till the end, and that is Gridiron Greats and After the Impact Fund. So again, every woman in here who's been touched by it knows that they are top-notch and the best. So there are multiple facets and qualities which put Gridiron Greats in a category all its own and set it apart from the other services or entities utilized by retirees. And as I just mentioned, many of you in this room have experienced those. But as all of us know, post-NFL life can be daunting and difficult to navigate at best, and heartbreaking and life-altering at worst. Add a neurodegenerative illness into the mix, and you've got a recipe for devastation and disaster. But that's where we come in. That's what we do best. Whether it be a newly retired player in need of accessing dental benefits, a daughter needing help with an application for the Plan of 88, or a desperate wife in need of immediate assistance due to her husband's spiraling mental health issues, Gridiron Greats and After the Impact Fund have those resources. We have the people who've been there and done that. And when I say that, all of the women that stood behind me tonight, and Courtney and Samantha and everybody else involved, that is who the backbone of Gridiron Greats and After the Impact Fund is. So again, another round of applause for them before we start my fund a need job here. So one last thought. After years of working one-on-one with struggling players and their families and vetting and navigating various programs, we've developed best practice guidelines that are second to none. And as was mentioned last year, all on a not-for-profit shoestring budget. Gridiron Greats and After the Impact Fund provides a big picture, long-term solution to the needs of the retired player and his family. Many times, our services provide that ray of hope that can be the difference between life and death, and I think a lot of us in here know that. Gridiron Greats is always here for us, and it's for that very reason that I and the ladies in this room stand before you tonight, and we'd like to show our gratitude and appreciation to them. So won't you please join us? And I'm going to start with the fund and need. And I can't really see the audience too well, so I think the women in the crowd are going to come around and get your pledge cards. So if you'll excuse me, I forgot my notes, so I'm going to grab my phone. Okay, so again, this is my first day on the job, so everybody, let's raise some money tonight, okay? Let's get excited and raise some money. And I do this for a living in politics, and I know you laborers are here. I'm a good Democrat, but don't tell anyone else that's a Republican in the room. Sorry, Coach. But anyway, okay, so here we go. So first of all, are all the ladies ready to get the pledge cards once I go with the bidding? See you out there? Okay, great. So what we're going to do is we're going to have incremental bidding, and we're going to start at the level of $5,000. And I know there's a lot of people in this room that can take out their checkbook, take out their credit card. I guess we take cash too. Most operations aren't cash, but we probably take cash too. And I think that they're going to be taking all the credit card information and checks in the back. So again, I want to start by starting at the highest increment of $5,000. So your $5,000 contribution could cover anywhere between 2 to 6 months of lodging and or transitional living arrangements for one player in need, depending on where in the country that player lives. So we're going to start now, so everyone's got to get excited here. So I'm going to call to raise. Let's all raise our hands so we can assist multiple retired players in need. So help me at least, we're looking for at least maybe, this is high reaching at first, 22 hands at $5,000. So let's start with the bidding. Anybody, $5,000? $5,000, $5,000, $5,000. Oh, we've got a bidder over there. Thank you very much. $5,000, $5,000. Please, guys, remember this. Oh, we've got someone right there. Thank you very much. A round of applause for her. We've got someone in the back at $5,000. Thank you very much. What about the left side of the room here? Come on, left side of the room. You guys got to go. $5,000, $5,000, $5,000, $5,000. Come on, I'm going to call it a few more times. I'm not a real auctioneer, but I'll play one tonight. $5,000. Anybody, 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 anybody. Well, I tell you what, I am going to be up on stage. I'm pledging $5,000 tonight. I'm pledging. So anybody else want to join me in pledging $5,000 tonight? Anybody want to join me? Janet, is that you pledging or are you holding up a card? Okay, 5,000. We've got other 5,000s in the room. Oh, we've got one back here. Thank you very much. Thanks, Irene. Thank you very much for your 5,000. So anybody else before we close 5,000 and go to the lesser amount of 2,500? Anybody, anybody? Did I miss anybody, girls? Okay. All right, so the next amount that we're going to do is $2,500. Your $2,500 would help one player with 6 months of medical and pharmaceutical services currently not covered by insurance or pending assistance from the league. As you all know, so many of us fall into that black hole of we aren't getting insurance approvals and we are maybe waiting for a benefit to be approved by the league, and players are desperate for this. So please, this is a big problem for our men as they await insurance approvals or league assistance. Let's ensure our 30-plus men in need that they will be able to afford their medication. So we're going to start with $2,500. Can I see a show of hands for $2,500? $2,500, anybody in the crowd? $2,500, $2,500. Here, we've got one up here, Tricia, right here. Thank you very much. I need to see more hands, $2,500. It's hard for me to see, but I know you girls will spot them out there. Show your hand for $2,500 to help a man in need. Anybody, $2,500. Now, I know we're going to get a lot more in the thousands. So $2,500, anybody else? Okay, all right. So we are going to go to $1,000. Thank you again, sir, for your contribution. Very generous. Thank you. A round of applause for him, please. Okay, here's one I know that we can all do. Like, I'll just stop shopping at TJ Maxx for a year for my $1,000. $1,000 description. This is for utilities. It seems basic to all of us, but so many of our warriors are too proud to ask. Your $1,000 contribution could cover one man's phone and electric for a year. Many times they get lodging, but we forget about living expenses. So I'd like a call to raise $1,000, a show of hands. So help us keep the lights on and allow these men to be heard with the means to communicate. We need a bunch of hands raised now for $1,000. So can we start 1,000? We've got someone over there. Thank you very much. One of the girls get your card. $1,000 over on the left side of the room. Anybody on this side of the room, raise your hand for 1,000. We got $1,000. Thank you, sir. $1,000 over there. Do we have 1,000 in the back? Anybody in the back? Oh, we've got 1,000. Thank you very much. Thank you. I think that's Kyle Turley there. Thank you very much. Please, anybody else $1,000, raise your hand, raise your hand. For me, the auctioneer, my first day on the job, please raise your hand. Okay, $1,000. Anybody in the back? I think we've got someone back there. If you guys want to get the cards, a round of applause for everybody for $1,000. And do we have anybody else at $1,000? Okay, so we are going to go to $500. So this is, again, an increment I think we can all meet. Again, the $500, if we didn't get a lot of $1,000s, would be for utilities and other lodging expenses for our warriors who are too proud to ask if we could help them. A show of hands for 500. A show of hands for oh, we've got a bunch of them. Okay. Here we've got, thank you, George. Thank you, Eric Hipple. We've got another 500 there, girls. So we've got a bunch of folks over here on the right-hand side as well. Thank you, guys. That looks like some guys over at the laborers table. Thank you very much. So we've got a round of applause for a lot of the people raising their hands right now. More $500. Do we have some over here? And I think in the back, we've got some $500 increments back there. So again, a big show of hands. Anyone at a $500 contribution? Okay, did I miss anyone, girls? You got it? And again, remember, you can do credit cards, checks, cash, anything you'd like. And again, remember, these are for the needs of players that otherwise can't afford this. So now we're going to go to an easier increment. I know we'll see a big showing of hands for $250. So anybody who wants to contribute $250, we'll start on the left side of the room. Anybody $250? All right, we've got a bunch of folks at this table over here for $250. Round of applause for them. All right, the left side of the room in the back. Anybody in the back for $250? Raise your hand so we can see it. Okay, middle of the room. Anybody in the middle of the room for $250? Raise your hand, please. I think we got some people in the back, so a round of applause for that crew over on that side of the room. How about the middle of the room? Anybody in the middle of the room for $250? Raise your hand if you can do $250 tonight. And actually, even if you don't have your checkbook with you or a credit card, we'll take it later. We always take the money. So how about on this side of the room? Anybody $250? Anybody on the right side? Oh, we've got some. Irene, thank you very much. Okay. A round of applause for the folks at this table here. Okay, anybody else for $250? Okay, so now I know that we're going to the lowest amount, but again, people, every little bit counts. And what I like to say is if you're a guest at a table or you just want to help one of these warriors, every penny counts, and every penny helps a guy in need, again, who are too proud to ask. So I'm going to go around the room again. If you could all raise your hands, if you can do $100 tonight, or if you can do it anytime in the near future. We've got folks at the back table here. Actually, Sam, we've got some folks in the middle there with 100. We've got a bunch of people behind Eric Hipple's table here for $100. And we've got several folks, thank you very much, Stacy, on the left-hand side of the room. So please see one of the girls, and you can fill out the information there. We have some more folks on the right-hand side. How about a big round of applause, first of all, for everybody raising their hand, being very kind. Thank you to this table. Chie, you've got some people back there, okay. Guys, thanks in the back there for your $100 contribution. We're going to do one last incremental round, and I do like to do this. Again, any amount counts. So anybody willing to write a check or a contribution for anything under $100, under 100, it could be 50, 75, 25, because every little bit counts. And I know there was a silent auction and things like that tonight, but again, can we see hands up for anybody wishing to do $75 or $50 tonight? Anybody for $75 or $50? Anybody in the room? We've got some folks there in the back. Thank you. A round of applause for them. Thank you. And again, the women that are around collecting these, this information, I want you to thank them too, because they are the whole reason that we're here tonight. So again, another hand up for anybody else. JT, are we done? Okay, first of all, thank you very much, everybody. And again, if anybody wants to make a contribution, you know where we are. And again, I want to thank Coach Ditka and Shannon for this wonderful night. And thank you, JT. Thank you.